Hi, and welcome to Uncomplicated Filmmaking, a tutorial, if you will, in which we will debunk the myth that filmmaking has to be expensive and complicated. Now, here are the rules. Keep it simple, keep it cheap, but make it good. For this, we'll be using the simplest of setups. No fancy rigs, not even an ND filter.
Gasp!
I know. For lighting, we will also keep it simple, but always keeping in mind to motivate and enhance. And now with the basics out of the way, we can get into what really matters. The story. Let's get into it. Like I said, story is the most important thing to perhaps any video. It's pretty much the reason we watch movies and series and all this stuff. It's because they have a story to tell us and we want to find out what that story is, and that's what keeps us engaged and entertained. And of course, some movies and some directors have a visual style that make things look cool, but at the same time, if those movies or series don't have a story and the story's not good, it's not going to get any good reviews and it's not going to get liked by the public or whatever it is. So story continues to be the most valuable thing that you can offer your audience. And in this era of social media, we are bombarded every day by pretty footage of the most exotic and most remote places in the entire world. And what most of all of those videos lack is a good story. Almost all of them have pretty much no direction and lack a purpose of being. And listen, this video is not meant to bash anyone or their work. Those videos actually serve a purpose, and to be honest, I also like consuming them. I like watching them because they are good to look at and they show me places that I've never seen before, and they are quite engaging. But if you're interested in becoming a better filmmaker, you just have to learn how to tell a good story. Now, where do you begin, right? You have to ask yourself, why? What is the purpose of this? Is it to sell a product? Is it to just share information? Whatever the point is, you have to ask yourself why. And then you use your work to connect the dots. And in your own words, in your own visual style, you tell that story to people. And listen, we've already simplified the gear. It's a simple camera, it's a window light. Now we have to focus on the story. You have to simplify everything in order to get down to the important bits of it, which is the storytelling, which is how you're telling that story. What shots are you matching? What things are guiding your vision and your purpose? And the only way that you can get better at those things is by doing it. You have to continuously work the muscle of creativity in order to get better at telling stories. Perhaps the best thing that you can do as a filmmaker is just repetition, repetition, repetition. When you're recording a video, when you're out there in the field, when you're doing it just for yourself or you're doing it for a client, ask yourself why. Why is this frame happening? Why are these things happening within my frame? What story am I trying to tell? What product am I trying to sell? What information am I trying to provide to my audience? Why? Maybe in the beginning, you can try to look for inspiration in movies or people, creatives that you enjoy, their visual style and the way that they tell stories, and sort of emulate that just to learn. There's no wrong in doing that. But as you get better as a filmmaker, as you develop your own creative vision and you want to exercise that muscle, you can break free from those things and just start doing your own thing. And there's no rules in filmmaking. There's no thing that says you have to do it this way, you have to do it that way. That's the beauty of it. You can do it whichever way you want, as long as your message comes across to people and people understand it and they vibe with it and they like it and they share it or whatever it is, then you're good to go. You don't need to abide by any certain rules. To me, filmmaking is whatever you want it to be. It doesn't have to be anything particular, and it doesn't have to be the best either. It's much more impactful to have a video that has a good message than a pretty looking video that has no message at all. Repetition and practice is what separates you from the rest. And it will 1,000 times over help you develop your unique and artistic style. And again, I repeat, it doesn't have to be complicated. It just has to work. So go ahead and uncomplicate your filmmaking so that you can get better at finding your own voice. And that's all from me. My name is Gabe. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, consider subscribing to my channel, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.